Level 1. The invitation. You receive an email at 2:47 a.m. No subject line. Just coordinates and a date. You shouldn't go, but you're broke. You're curious. You're tired of being nobody. The address leads to a private art gallery in Manhattan, closed to the public. You walk in. 13 people in expensive suits. No one speaks. A woman in red hands you an envelope. Inside, $10,000 cash and a phone. She looks you in the eyes. Spend it however you want. We'll be watching. You take the money. You don't ask questions. That was your first mistake. Level 2. The test. 3 weeks pass. The phone rings once. A voice tells you to go to a specific cafe in Brooklyn. Sit at table 7. Order black coffee. You do exactly as told. A man sits across from you. He slides a USB drive. Deliver this to apartment 4C. Don't look at what's on it. Your hands are shaking. You deliver it. Another envelope waits at your door that night. $25,000. The note inside says, "You passed." You start to realize the money isn't random. It's a leash. Level 3. The assignment. The phone rings again. This time there's a job. You're given a list of names. 12 people. All journalists, activists, small-time politicians. Your task? Find their routines. Where they eat. Who they love. When they're alone. You're not told why. You're paid $75,000 per name. You tell yourself you're just gathering information. You're not hurting anyone. But you see the fear in their eyes when things start happening to them. Careers destroyed. Relationships exposed. Lives dismantled. You didn't pull the trigger, but you loaded the gun. Level 4. The meeting. You're invited to your first gathering, a private estate in the Hamptons. No phones allowed, no names used. Everyone wears the same ring, a symbol you don't recognize yet. You're introduced as the recruit. They talk in code, numbers, colors, locations that mean nothing to you. But you understand one thing clearly. These people control things. Media narratives, stock prices, elections in countries you've never heard of. Someone raises a glass. To the architecture of reality. You drink, you smile, you're terrified. You've made $900,000 in 4 months. Level 5. The revelation. They finally tell you what the symbol means. It's not what you expected. No robes, no ancient rituals, just power, just control, just people who decide the rules don't apply to them. You're given your first real task, influence. You're assigned to a tech startup. They don't know who you are. You're just an investor. But you're there to steer, to whisper, to make sure their algorithm prioritizes the right content, buries the wrong voices. You attend board meetings. You smile. You suggest. 3 months later, 40 million people are seeing exactly what your handlers want them to see. You realize you're not in a secret society. You're in a machine, and you're just another gear. Level 6. The initiation. They tell you it's time to prove loyalty. You're brought to a warehouse in New Jersey. Concrete floors. No windows. A man is tied to a chair. You don't know who he is. You don't ask. They hand you a phone with a recording app. Make him confess. We don't care how. You're not violent. You've never hurt anyone. But 3 people stand behind you, watching, waiting. You do what you have to do. You tell yourself you had no choice. He confesses. To what? You're not even sure. 2 days later, his face is on the news. Disgraced. Arrested. Destroyed. You receive $4 million. You can't sleep anymore. Level 7. The circle. You're no longer the recruit. You're one of them now. You attend meetings in Geneva, Dubai, a private island you can't find on any map. You sit at tables where decisions are made that will affect millions. A famine here, a war there, a financial collapse perfectly timed. You don't make the big decisions, but you execute them. You move money through untraceable accounts. You feed stories to journalists who think they're breaking news. You've made $23 million. You live in penthouses. You fly private. People fear you without knowing your name, but you're not free. You haven't made a real choice in 8 months. Level 8. The paranoia. You start noticing things. Your apartment feels different. Things move slightly. Cameras you didn't install. The phone they gave you is always listening. You know it now. You see the same faces in different cities. Always watching. Always 3 steps behind. You think about leaving. Just disappearing. But they've made it clear. There is no leaving. You know what happened to the others who tried. Car accidents. Suicides. Sudden heart attacks at 34. You're in too deep. You know too much. You helped rig an election in South America. You facilitated a corporate takeover that killed a union movement. You're not just complicit, you're guilty. Level 9. The fracture. You meet someone who wants out. Another member. Older. Tired. He's been in this for 16 years. He tells you there's a way. A journalist who can be trusted. Evidence that can bring it all down. You want to believe him. You meet in Prague, a quiet cafe. He has files, documents, recordings. You're about to take them when you see his eyes shift. He's been compromised. This was a test. You walk away. He doesn't. 3 days later, his obituary mentions a skiing accident. You never skied with him. You know the truth. Level 10. The architect. You're brought before someone you've never seen. No name, no face you can recall clearly, just a presence. They tell you you've done well, you've proven yourself. They offer you the next level, true power. A seat at the table where reality is written. But there's a cost. You have to give up everything. Your identity, your past, your last shred of self. You'll become a ghost, wealthy beyond measure, untouchable, but you'll never be you again. You look at the contract, no signatures, just a fingerprint in ink. You think about the person you used to be, the one who opened an email at 2:47 a.m. You realize that person is already dead. Level 11, the choice. You have two options. Sign, become one of the architects, live forever in the shadows, controlling the world from behind curtains, or refuse, and face what happens to those who know too much. You think about running, exposing everything, burning it all down. But you've seen what happens to whistleblowers. They don't win. They don't survive. The system is too big, too old, too embedded. You're just one person, and they are everywhere. Level 12, the truth. Here's what they never told you. There is no Illuminati, not the way you think. No grand conspiracy, no single organization pulling all the strings. Just people, wealthy, connected, ruthless. People who realize that if you have enough money, enough influence, enough patience, you don't need a secret society. You just need to make sure everyone else stays distracted, divided, powerless. The real secret is simple. The game was rigged before you were born, and the only way to win is to stop playing. But you didn't stop. You played, you climbed, you won, and now you're trapped in a level you can't escape. The phone rings one more time. You answer. A voice you recognize as your own from 6 months ago plays back. I'll do whatever it takes. The line goes dead. You look at your reflection in the window of your penthouse. $43 million in accounts you can't access without permission. A life you can't leave. A name you no longer own. Welcome to the top. There's no one left to become. You are the system now, and the system never stops.